Did you know that over 50% of people feel nervous when trying to talk to someone they like? That's right, getting the conversation started with your crush isn't easy for most people. But what if you could change that with just a few simple strategies? The good news is, you don't need to be a smooth talker or a conversation expert to make it happen. Research shows that confidence, curiosity, and a little bit of vulnerability can work wonders. In fact, a study found that 70% of people feel more connected when the other person shares something personal with them. Sounds easy, right? In this guide, you'll discover the most effective ways to start a conversation without the pressure, without the awkwardness, and without the fear of rejection. We'll dive into proven techniques that will help you not only speak with ease but build a meaningful connection. Whether you're shy or outgoing, by the end of this, you'll be ready to approach your crush with confidence. Let's get started. Chapter 1: Unlocking the Ice. The power of hey, you. Starting a conversation with your crush can be daunting, but the truth is, it doesn't have to be. Sometimes, a simple hey, you is all it takes to break the ice. It sounds simple, right? But research shows that making the first move can actually be more effective than you think. According to a study by the University of Chicago, 67% of people said they were more likely to respond positively to someone who initiates with a direct approach. It's not about what you say, but about having the confidence to start. When you say hey, you, it's an invitation, not an interrogation. You're opening the door without putting too much pressure on the situation. This small, approachable greeting allows the other person to feel like they have space to engage without the weight of a big, intimidating question. The best part? It's natural. Overthinking can often cause us to freeze, but when you keep things simple and casual, you're more likely to have a positive reaction. A study from Harvard found that 50% of people feel more comfortable in conversations when they sense a lack of pressure or expectation. So, next time you spot your crush, try this simple trick. It will immediately make you seem approachable and confident, setting the tone for a relaxed and meaningful interaction. Chapter 2: The Subtle Art of Small Talk. Less is more. Small talk often gets a bad rap, but in reality, it's the gateway to deeper conversations. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that small talk can lead to greater connection, especially when both people are comfortable with it. By starting with light, neutral topics, you create a bridge that connects you without overwhelming the other person. Think of it as the conversation version of testing the water. Begin by asking something simple like, "How's your day been?" Or "Did you catch the latest episode of that show?" These questions open up the opportunity for them to share more without feeling pressured. According to communication expert Deborah Tannen, people feel safer and more open when they are asked questions that invite them to speak about their experiences, not just facts. But here's a trick: don't be too eager to keep the conversation going. Research shows that silences are actually healthy in interactions. In a study from the University of Essex, they found that pauses in conversation can encourage both people to think more deeply about their words. This gives your crush space to relax and offer more thoughtful responses, turning a casual exchange into something richer. Small talk is often the stepping stone to a deeper connection. It's important to remember that less is more. By keeping it light, you invite more opportunities for genuine conversation without overwhelming the other person. And over time, these simple exchanges build rapport and trust, which is the foundation for any meaningful relationship. Chapter 3: Compliment like a pro, but with a twist. Compliments can be a powerful tool, but only when done correctly. Many people shy away from complimenting their crush because they fear it'll come off as insincere. However, research shows that specific and thoughtful compliments can make a huge difference. In a study conducted by the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, it was found that people prefer compliments that focus on their actions, skills, or personality traits, rather than their appearance. So, instead of saying, "You're so beautiful," try something like, "I love the way you explain things, you make everything so easy to understand." Compliments like these show that you're paying attention to what they do, not just how they look. It also lets your crush know that you appreciate their unique qualities, which can be incredibly flattering. This approach is especially effective because it ties into a concept called the halo effect. This is a psychological phenomenon where one positive trait influences how we view someone overall. Complimenting their skills or personality can make them feel more confident and help you stand out as someone who notices the deeper aspects of who they are. The best part about compliments is that they don't always need to be grand gestures. In fact, research from the University of Leeds suggests that small, genuine compliments have a more lasting impact than larger, exaggerated ones. People remember how a compliment made them feel, not necessarily the exact words. So when you give a compliment, make it count. Complimenting your crush doesn't mean saying something over the top. It's about being authentic and specific. When done with sincerity, it can create a powerful connection and show that you value them for more than just their appearance. If you're enjoying these tips, make sure to hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for the next chapters. We've got more strategies coming up to help you master the art of conversation. Chapter 4: The Power of Vulnerability. Share your passion. Starting a conversation with your crush doesn't always have to be about asking questions or giving compliments. Sometimes, the most impactful way to connect is by being vulnerable and sharing something that excites you. According to Brené Brown, a leading researcher on vulnerability, embracing this can foster trust and deepen relationships. She explains that vulnerability isn't about weakness, it's about showing courage in sharing parts of yourself. When you open up about something you're passionate about, it not only makes you more interesting but also more relatable. Whether it's a hobby, a cause you care about, or a project you're working on, your enthusiasm can be contagious. People are naturally drawn to others who speak with passion, as it shows confidence and authenticity. A study by the University of California found that sharing personal interests can increase mutual respect and connection by up to 40%. One of the great things about vulnerability is that it invites your crush to share their own passions too. It creates a two-way street where both of you feel heard and valued. In fact, research from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology shows that people who share personal stories during interactions tend to form stronger bonds. It's like building a bridge of trust, and it starts with you being open. Another reason sharing your passions works so well is that it encourages genuine curiosity. When you're excited about something, your energy naturally draws others in. As psychologist Dr. John Gottman notes, we are drawn to people who are emotionally expressive and who share their joy and passion. So, instead of waiting for the perfect moment, embrace the idea that showing your true self is one of the most attractive things you can do. By embracing vulnerability and sharing what excites you, you're not just starting a conversation, you're creating a deeper connection that goes beyond surface-level chatter. This approach is both simple and powerful, and it can make a lasting impression. Chapter 5: Create a Moment. Embrace the silence when starting a conversation with your crush. You might think that filling every moment with words is key to making a good impression. However, science shows that embracing silence can be just as powerful. A study from the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior revealed that pauses in conversation are crucial for establishing rapport and comfort. Silence can create space for deeper thoughts, making interactions feel more natural. In fact, silence isn't something to fear, it's an opportunity. Often, when people feel awkward, they rush to fill every gap with chatter, which can sometimes create tension. But taking a brief pause can help both of you relax and recalibrate, allowing the conversation to flow more smoothly. Harvard researchers discovered that people who are comfortable with pauses in conversation tend to be viewed as more confident and self-assured. Here's the thing: silence gives both of you the time to reflect on what was just said. It shows that you're not rushing the conversation, which in turn makes your crush feel more comfortable. Psychologist Daniel Goleman explains that emotional intelligence, like understanding the power of silence, is key to forming lasting connections. It shows that you're aware of the rhythm of the conversation and not just focused on your own words. This doesn't mean you should sit in complete silence, but rather, allow for natural pauses where both of you have the chance to process and respond thoughtfully. It's in these moments that the conversation can become more authentic. A 2019 study by the University of California found that couples who embrace silence and have moments of deep reflection are more likely to stay together long-term. Silence can be a powerful tool for connection. Instead of rushing to speak, allow the conversation to breathe. Embrace the pauses, and watch how it creates a more meaningful exchange. Chapter 6: The Follow-Up. Keep the conversation flowing. After that initial conversation with your crush, it's important to keep the momentum going. The key to sustaining any relationship is the follow-up. Studies show that following up after a conversation shows you care and are interested in deepening the connection. According to the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, maintaining a consistent, thoughtful communication rhythm can increase the likelihood of forming lasting bonds. The follow-up doesn't have to be grand or overly complex. It can be as simple as sending a message about something you both mentioned earlier in the conversation. For example, if you talked about a movie you both wanted to see, reaching out with a, "Hey, I just watched that movie you mentioned. It was amazing," is a great way to continue the dialogue. A study from the University of Texas shows that people who make small references to past interactions increase feelings of connection by 50%. Another important strategy is to ask open-ended questions. While yes/no questions can be efficient, they often end conversations quickly. A follow-up question like, "What was your favorite part of the weekend?" or "How did your project go?" keeps the conversation going and invites more detailed responses. According to psychologist Dr. Arthur Aaron, asking questions that require more than just a yes or no answer fosters deeper engagement and intimacy. It's also essential to be attentive. Remembering little details from past conversations, like their favorite coffee shop or something they mentioned they love to do, shows that you're genuinely listening. Neuroscientist Dr. Richard Davidson explains that when someone shows they remember the small things, it triggers positive emotional responses in the brain, leading to stronger connections. Lastly, timing is key. You don't need to follow up immediately, but don't let too much time pass either. A study from Psychological Science found that people who follow up within a few days of an initial conversation are more likely to build a successful connection. Follow-ups are your opportunity to show that you're invested and genuinely interested in getting to know the person better. Small, thoughtful touches can make all the difference in keeping the connection strong and ensuring that both of you feel seen and heard. By integrating these strategies into your interactions, being vulnerable, embracing silence, and following up thoughtfully, you'll not only start a conversation but also build a meaningful connection that can lead to something deeper. Relationships are built on these small, consistent actions, and they'll help you move from initial sparks to lasting bonds. So, be confident, be genuine, and remember that the best conversations are the ones where both people feel valued and engaged. Don't forget to subscribe for more relationship tips. We've got plenty more to help you strengthen your connections and build lasting bonds.